The whole project, all the items have been finished now?
Yes, that's right.
Would you like to take me through, first of all, where the ideas came from, and then maybe we can have a look at some of the items? Great.
Yes, certainly. This first concept model is Tropical Peace, and ideas that came from this were the group's creative use of light, this idea of using a stepping stone approach or a path to bring users into the area that the students wanted. I also like the fact they had a board where you could put your own music or your own opinions or interact with the space in your own way. This next group is Sugar Rush. Ideas I've taken from here are the use of rugs to make the space more cosy. And I also liked the idea we had in this group, which was that if there was a post box where users could leave their opinion behind, students could look at how their ideas had changed the space. This third concept, which was the concept we selected to use for the theme, I particularly liked the Tetris furniture, so that's featured in the final design. You'll see here there's a representation of a new sign for the toilet, which was to feature a Mario princess. That's been replicated. I like the use of the Mario mushrooms, which are really quite iconic, so I've replicated those. The colour scheme, the dark green, the white, the black, the red, that's become a feature of the final design. And also over here you see a representation of an old arcade machine. Now these are such retro classics. I've tried to incorporate those into the furniture of the final design.
Because they're retro classics, how does that affect? Had you considered buying a retro classic video game? Would that have been a possibility, or was that not?
Well, unfortunately they're so popular now that they are retailing for between £2,000 and £3,000. However, I was able to get a lot of images of the shape of them and the sort of decoration on them, and to incorporate that into some quite practical seating, so that I'm trying to retain the ethos of the concept whilst making it a usable space for the school. So, want to come see the final product? Please follow the Pac-Man stepping stones.
Okay, what would you like to show me first?
Well, firstly, shall we look at the arcade machine seating, as we just been talking about that. I took images of some classic arcade machines and took away this shape, this slightly curved shape back from when they first came out, and also the idea of the sort of flat console and the screen. And then I was able to get images from the original machines and use them as transfers to really locate the seating as an arcade machine. And they're in the four main games that the students identified, which was the Mario Brothers. This one has a Space Invaders theme. This one, which is a particular favourite, is the Tetris theme. This one I remember from my youth. And the fourth is a Pac-Man themed game, which ties in nicely with the whole Pac-Man picnic idea. In front you'll notice some pieces of Tetris blocks. Now this was a great idea by the students. They wanted some Tetris pieces that could be made into furniture, and there's so many ways in which these tessellate that you can make a footstool, a table, anything you like, and it gives people something to do while they're in the room. Would you like to try out the seating Tetris combination?
Yes, very comfy. Pull it over there, and not too heavy. All the edges are nice and rounded. You put your feet up. Yes, you can see that working.
Lovely.
All the Tetris bits, as well as obviously any number of combinations. Try out. Oh. do they all fit together to make one single shell?
And now you're asking. They do all tessellate, and also they're all weight bearing, so you can make some steps and walk up them, or they're all, you know, safe to be trodden on and sat on and such if you so desire.
That's great. I'll have the camera back, and now there's some more things on the table over here.
There are. To represent the post office box, which actually came from a different group, but I love the idea that users could leave their opinions behind. So this is Blinky, the bad guy from Pac-Man. So he's the ghost. So you can put your opinion in there in the form of a note or a letter. And then I've just left access at the back for gathering of the records. You can just
it's nicely hinged.
Open it up and whatever you like. It's just got a little lock on it for safekeeping.
And it can be mounted or stand as it is on the floor like that.
Yeah, self-supporting. I think you could perch on it without it doing any harm. It's pretty solid. We also have here, do you remember me saying how iconic I think the mushrooms are? Well, I used the image to create little projector boxes. So within these mushrooms I've got a little light projector with a sound capability and speakers. Now the lights were to replicate the angel lights invented by the Tropical Peace group. So we've incorporated ideas from the other groups into this overall concept. Now we've got some what I would consider wall art. We've got a little sign for the ladies' bathroom, which was designed by the students themselves, and I've been able to replicate the image that they wanted, I hope. The students were very thorough. They even invented their own lettering for their name. They were able to draw out some lettering for me, and I've replicated it in a sign to celebrate their concept. And finally, just behind you is a blackboard to fit within the space. It's made to replicate an old Atari console, one of the first ones. And the idea being that students can leave their opinions or comment on the waiting room experience and whether or not it's improved their school.
Great. Are there any other issues about fitting?
I think light might be an interesting issue in this space. There is natural light, but it all comes from the ceiling. So I've included some blackout curtaining so we can black out the natural light and use the fairy lights from the projectors to change the feeling, or they can be used purely for sound, and the blackout curtaining can be removed for daylight. So a couple of options there. I'm rather fond of Blinky, the post box, because I like the idea you have to put your opinion through his teeth, sort of putting your hand into the lion's mouth to say how you feel about the space.
So, what did you enjoy most about the project? What did you get from the project?
Well, I really enjoyed working with the students. I was surprised at the wealth of ideas they came up with in what was really quite a short space of time. And all three groups brought up ideas that have been able to be incorporated into the concept. All three groups had really quite feasible but exciting ideas. My particular favourite item, I love the Tetris. I love the flexibility of it. I very much like the lettering that the students designed, but my favourite of all is the ghost, the Blinky postbox. I could quite happily give him a home, because I think he's lovely. And the Pac-Man stepping stones, I like the idea that they will welcome users into the room.
Or out of the room as well. Oh, yes.
I'd like to say a big thank you to all the students who worked with me. I really enjoyed the process, and good luck fitting it all together, and I hope you enjoy the room.
Thank you.